Okay, I am going to just try to make a quick video about the little skit that just happened just now regarding gang stalking and targeting. And it's the smallest things. It's the smallest things that that they get you with, because it's so ridiculous how out of their way they go to just inconvenience you. You know, and it's like it sucks. It's like this isn't fair. And I hate when people say it's not fair, because life isn't fair, but like this is ridiculous. I left my house to just go get a coffee. I'm working. I'm gonna go grab a coffee and get a little bit of caffeine and whatever, something to eat. I don't know. So I passed by the place I normally go into, because they are always in there in the parking lot trying to drive into me, do the normal skits and everything. Passed by that place, pulled into the Circle K where I go in sometimes when I don't want to go in the one by my house. As soon as I try to go into that place, guy gets out of his car, hand signal. So I just, as he's walking in, so I just said, nah, I'm gonna go ahead and just drive to the parking lot. I'll go somewhere else. So I pull around another street by my neighborhood here. There's a new Burger King. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go into this Burger King. It's somewhere I don't usually go. As soon as I pull in the driveway, lady, like her phone, she's on her phone in front, and she starts frantically looking around. Like looking around on her phone. She looks at these guys in this truck. She nods to them. They get out of their truck and try to rush into Burger King before I got in there, so they all could get in line before me. They were just sitting there in the truck before. They weren't in a hurry before, but all of a sudden, when I got in the parking lot, they decided they were going to be in a hurry. I know this sounds so arrogant to think that all this attention is on me, but if you research any kind of gang stalking, or if you've ever been involved in this, it's ridiculous. It's hard to believe. Anyway, so I rush in, and I could tell these guys. I could tell what's happening. You can tell this if you're a vigilant person, which is part of the reason I think you get targeted. I can tell that these guys are trying to get ahead of me in line so they can take forever. Because that's what this is about. It's taking up your time and blocking you from being successful and being reputable. Tried to go in there, and I let my emotions kind of get me for a second, and I pulled the door open. I said, I gotta hurry up and get in here. You guys look like you're gonna order everything on the fucking menu. And they all kind of looked at me, but they didn't say anything. It was really rude what I said, and not one of those big ass motherfuckers said anything, which usually some big dudes like that would be like, what? But these people usually they don't want to interact with you. They only want to take up your time. Or if they do interact with you, it is just to take up your time. It's to just talk to you about nonsense and try to say things that are confusing or mumble. So you have to say, what? I'm sorry, what? So I go into Burger King and I order my coffee, and the guy's like friendly with me for a second, and then the guy to the right of me nods, gives him his little nod, and lets him know that I'm a whatever they call me. And then he takes my order for the large coffee, disappears. The coffee machine is right there next to the register. Takes my order, disappears. All four of those guys order. I stand there and I wait patiently, and then the guy's just standing there looking at me. I can see the coffee machine right there. The other guy just disappeared. I realized this is what one of their things are doing to just mess with me. So I said, can I get my coffee I ordered like 10 minutes ago, please? And he just looks at me. Oh, coffee, huh? And then goes over, starts to get my coffee where I can't see him. He turns to where I can't see him. He's doing something with his hands. So I just decided to let him keep my $2.15 and leave my coffee there at Burger King, because I don't need to deal with whatever that guy's putting in my coffee, or rubbing his finger in, or doing it, whatever they do to mess with you, you know. So I just said, fuck it, left. They'll never get another one of my pennies. And it might not, but you know, the people at Burger King might not have know anything about this, or they might definitely know about it, because they had that, two of those employees were involved for sure. And it's ridiculous, because this is over a fucking cup of coffee. It's like the most simple, like literally one of the most simple things that you can do is go get yourself a cup of coffee. Everybody goes to get a cup of coffee every single day. So that's what this gang stalking does, is it makes the most simple things in life very difficult for anyone. If you're the most responsible, educated, down-to-earth person, you're boring, you do nothing, all you do is work and try to get ahead. You don't go out, you don't do anything. They'll still try to find a way to make you look bad and make you look lazy, even though you may spend every moment that you're awake working. You know, and then just try to antagonize you, send people around. These definitely has some prison time, doing hand signals. I don't care. Yeah, see, here's the thing. I already know that the end product of this program is death. That's what these people want. I'm not afraid of death anymore. Actually, it's been a while since I have been. I go tomorrow, I don't fucking care. So, I have no fear of any of these motherfuckers. I don't care anymore. I guess that's how you have to just, you know, how you have to be when you go through this. Maybe I got some of that video. Who knows? You don't want the 50 cents off? Gotta take these, gotta take these. Just repeating part of my interaction in there. So, hand signal on my right, hand signal on my left just now. And people, okay, so I have to reiterate all the time while explaining what the things that people are doing. It sounds like you're just describing everyday actions. People, because I listen to targeted individuals talking about being gang stalked, and they're trying to film what's going on. And it's so hard to film because, you know, you're like, oh, that guy just scratched his head, that guy just put his visor down, that person just, you know, they turn their hazards on. It's like, okay, you're driving. Where the hell do you live that people don't normally do this? But it's the timing and repetition. I can't stress that enough. The timing and repetition. You know, right when you're driving, like right up here, there'll be something odd. Like right up here, there is a white truck just parked. Actually, here, I'm just gonna keep going. White truck just parked in the middle of the road. Is it a city worker or is it park ranger? He's just sitting in the middle of the road. Avondale employee just kicking it. No hazards, no lights, no, just sitting in the middle of the road. That was the turn to my house back there, so but I wanted to see what guy had going on there. And so I drive a black 4Runner, 5th generation 4Runner, with my phone right here to my left, and I've got a GoPro over here to my right in the windshield. People that don't know that I'm a targeted individual probably think I'm some kind of like private investigator or cop or something like that, or don't pay attention at all. So, yeah, so the city of Avondale truck sitting in the middle of the road right there. They've got the target for their symbol for the town. Target, like the store, which I thought was interesting when I was talked into moving here. This definitely wasn't my first choice. By studying the area at all, I just knew that Arizona I liked, but Avondale wasn't on my radar really. We could just rent a giant house for like $1,300 a month. Rent's gone up around here. The goal was to buy a house. That not gonna happen. No targeted individual can take the risk of buying a home because their future is too uncertain. Not because of their efforts and their competency. That'd be the right word, yeah. Not because of their efforts or their hard work. Same thing. Because of this constant, non-stop aggravation. And I'm sure it's different for each person because they have somebody that figures out everything that makes you tick, things that upset you, like typical things that they know that I don't like. I don't like meth. I don't like people that litter. Shitty drivers. That was one of always my pet peeves. Driving, people driving crappy, people being rude. Just kind of like, I don't know, a bunch of normal stuff, I guess, that you wouldn't like, but a lot of what it seems like they introduce in front of me in these little skits all have to do with that kind of stuff. Like lately they've been having people just throw trash right in front of me. There was trash all out in front of my house out here. In front of the neighbor's house, in front of this neighbor's house, all out in the street. I'd go out, I'll go kind of police area, pick it up, trash police, and pick it all up so it looks nice. The next day, this is a clean neighborhood. Like the only time that there's trash around here is when the windstorms pick up and trash blows everywhere from who knows where. Other than that, it's typically kept up pretty well, and you don't just see litter laying around. So, but right after that, after the people throwing trash in front of me, and I pick up all the stuff in front of my house, each day when I leave the house, now there's some kind of trash just thrown on the ground, like Budweiser box with broken bottles or a McDonald's bag or whatever, and it's like I started picking up the trash, so they're gonna just go out and throw random trash out now. I'm like, this isn't something that normally happens, just like a reaction to what I did. Which blows my mind that people they're taking the time to mimic, it's the only thing I can really say to make it easy to understand is the kid in class. It's in the back row. You're in the second to the back, right in front of him. He starts tapping you on the shoulder. You turn around and he's like looking around, going, "Ah, it wasn't me, man. It wasn't me." You're like, okay, it clearly was you. It's not one of the other people. You know, maybe one of the people to the right or the left, but it's one of you three. So then you get tapped on the shoulder again. You know, and then depending on how much you want to let people mess with you, it happens 10, 20, 30 times, you're just sitting there trying to pay attention. You can't function. You're getting messed with. You can't do your homework. Try to say something to the teacher, and the teacher says, quit messing around. This is like you trying to explain this to the authorities. Quit messing around back there. You two need to knock it off. You're both going to get detention. And you're like, well, how am I going to get detention when I'm just trying to sit here and focus on what I'm doing, and this kid behind me is just sitting here poking me in the back and being an asshole? So if you're not going to do something, I'm going to have to do something. And that's when the kid gets up and he turns around and he punches that little fucker in the face. So that's what the main goal is for you to get aggravated enough to just act out and punch somebody in the face. And that's what I started doing when I was a kid in school. I got tired of getting picked on, and I started getting tough, and I started jacking some people up. And I didn't realize that was part of my targeting when I was a kid, making me react. I've got some broken fingers, man. I got good at it. I haven't been in a fight in a long time. I've come close a couple times with this gang stalking stuff. But especially now that I know that I'm targeted, that I know it isn't just random incidences of people being an asshole. It's specific targeting. I'm a lot more, not careful, but careful not to be baited into this situation. Like at Costco the other day, there were some guys that were gang stalking me, and they were doing some little skit in front of me, and then when I tried to grab my food and turn around and leave, they tried to walk in front of me. And then I'm not deviating my path anymore. If somebody's gonna walk in front of me, especially intentionally, I'm gonna run their ass over. Fuck that. When I did that, the guy says something like, "Oh, he's got to be a butthole about it, huh?" Like I'm the jerk because I was just trying to walk in a straight line, and he's going to try to impede my progress. Like every single day, that's what happens with all this. It's impeding your progress, getting in your way, walking in your way, driving in your way. At least with my targeting. So get back to where I was. Let's see, I'm trying to think about. Okay, so I walked. Yeah, I just kept walking. I bumped into the guy, and he was looking right at me when they walked. It's like they stood right next to each other, and then right when I started to take off, they both stepped in at the same time to try to form a wall to just say, no, you're not going by here. And like I said, fuck that, not happening. I don't care. So when I bumped into the guy, like he called me a butthole. Okay. So I turned around and said, look, no, man, you're being the asshole. I was trying to walk this way, and you guys both stepped in and got in my way intentionally so I couldn't go by to play some kind of little game. Don't fuck with me. And the guy tells me, you're barking up the wrong tree. You need to walk on home, little boy, or something like that. And he weighed at least 320 and probably like 5'6" or something like that. You know, my cardio isn't great right now, but I would end that guy if he tried to fight me. I'm not gonna attack him. He's like, you're barking up the wrong tree, get out of here. I told him, I'll fuck both of you guys up. And I think a lot of targeted individuals are afraid of conflict, afraid of the interaction. They're afraid that the police are gonna get called. I didn't initiate that. Those two, so I bet, let's see, my Fourth Amendment basically is being just ripped apart. I can't just go from point A to point B without being molested, basically. I think that's how it says in the Constitution. Unmolested, meaning nobody impeding your progress intentionally. And that's what those guys did. So basically, by them gang stalking me doing this, they're fucking with the Constitution. They're ruining the Fourth Amendment. They don't know anything about it. Or if they do and they don't care, they're just getting paid. They get their gift card, they get their lunch paid for. But that's how big of sellouts these people are. Then they're gonna have to learn to be in some confrontations. And I think that would be my biggest piece of advice for targeted individuals is find a way to go ahead and confront these people and look them in the eye, let them know that you know that they're gang stalking, talk to them about it. You know, don't say like, you've been following me everywhere, but find a tactful way to say, to let them know that you know who they are and what they're doing that is wrong. Because they're probably giving some kind of information about you that's completely ridiculous. They probably say like, this person said he was in the military and he's not, and he's, or this person, I don't know, fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. I don't know, I worry, sometimes that's what they say about me. I was in the Air Force 15 years, and they try to tell people like, oh, this guy's a stolen valor guy or something like that. When some of these people go in for like 4 years and they're like, yeah, for life, Marine for life. You did 4 years. You hardly get, I mean, yeah, you might have gone and shot some people and seen some people die and stuff like that too, but you don't understand how the whole big thing works. You weren't past the point of just taking orders. So apparently that's what some of these people are still doing. I say Marines because a lot of I love the Marine Corps. I always said I should have gone into the Marine Corps. The Air Force wasn't dirty enough for me. Like, I don't know, they were just so tight and needy and anal retentive, and that's fine because they had to pay attention to detail with a lot of the Air Force shit. And the Marine Corps just seemed like to be in the mud and shooting guns and just stuff I don't know, I would have been more comfortable with. But maybe that's part of my targeting, is they know that I respect the Marine Corps so much that they just tell Marines some horrible shit about me, and then I get gang stalked by the Marine Corps. So there are a couple Marines that I personally that I've worked with side by side for months at a time, years at a time, and a couple that fucked up a couple of those guys. But for the most part, the Marine Corps is badass. You don't want to mess with a Marine, and that's part of the thing that I'm perplexed by, because I've never had anything but love in general for the Marine Corps, with the exception of a few of their troops that I personally worked with, not that I heard anything about or read anything about, that I have personal experiences with, that fucked me over. Other than that, you know, fucking hoorah. So, well, I guess talking about this, you just have to risk sounding crazy. I listen to other targeted individuals talk about some of their experiences and everything. God, that sounds fucking crazy, you know? But I have to keep it in perspective, what they could be experiencing. A couple of the things that some people told me are, I think they're the couple that might I don't want to say need to be targeted, because this is not the way to do things, to just antagonize somebody and aggravate somebody to get them to act out, unless you're have an agenda to trying to sell something or try to get rid of something, you know, for like another government or something like that. You're trying to get rid of guns, you're trying to make people crazy, go out and shoot everybody up, you're trying to sell more pills, so you're trying to antagonize people enough to get them to go see a counselor and say, I'm hearing voices, or people are after me, they're, you know, and the doctor says, oh yeah, you're schizophrenic for sure, take this, and this, and the next thing you know, you're on $30,000 worth of pills a year, you know, and then after you get off those pills, you go nuts and you shit up a mall, and then they're like, okay, now take away the guns. They're not like, take away the pills.